You grew up in Oklahoma. I'm wondering, when and where was your first Major League game that you saw in person?
It was at Municipal Stadium in downtown Kansas City. Before Kauffman Stadium was built, they had an older stadium, and it was a twilight doubleheader that I got a chance to see the Cleveland Indians, and their catcher was Ray Fosse against the Kansas City Royals in a doubleheader. And it was probably 1970 or 1971. And it was really close. I don't know if you guys are real familiar with Pete Rose's collision with Ray Fosse.
Sure.
That really changed the course. It changed the course of Ray Fosse's career. It happened in an all-star game, and there's a lot of controversy that Rose may have gone out of his way to hurt Fosse, and Fosse's never really kind of let go of it. He's one of the broadcasters with the Oakland A's that we see all the time during the course of the year. But Ray Fosse was the catcher, and I remember as a little kid just thinking, man, how big his legs were. And like a lot of people, walking into a Major League Stadium for the first time, you just couldn't believe how grand everything looked and how colorful. I was talking to a guy on the minor league side of our complex just a month or so ago, and he had a Valley Cat polo shirt on. And I asked him if he was with the Tri-City affiliated with the Tri-City team, the Astros rookie league team. He said, yeah, he was the team photographer. And we got to talking for a little bit. He said the first game he ever went to was at Ebbets Field. And I think it was 1956 or 1957, he said it was. And he was 9 years old and had a cheap camera, and he was taking pictures. And he was telling me when he went in there, it's the first time he'd seen anything other than black and white, because TV was black and white. The pictures in the newspapers were black and white. And he was showing me these pictures as he was telling me the story. And it was the picture of people in the stands, and the men at the game had the suits on with the nice looking caps to go with, and they had neckties, and the ladies were in dresses, and it just looked so old school, looked so cool. And he was telling me about, different parts of the stadium. And he said, my dad and I finally worked our way to the first base side by the Dodgers dugout, and my dad told me to hop over the railing. He said, no, he said, first, he said, hand me your camera. He said, Dad, I'm doing a good job. He said, hand me your camera. And he was kind of stern, and his dad usually wasn't that stern. So he gave his dad the camera. Then his dad told him to hop over the railing. He said, Dad, I'll get in trouble. He said, they'll kick us out of this game. He said, get over the railing. So he said, and when you get over the railing, see that guy coming down the right field line, I want you to tap him on the shoulder, get his attention, and ask him if he'll take a picture with you. So he did what his dad told him. He hopped over the railing, tapped the guy on the shoulder, and the guy turned around and he said, I'd be happy to take a picture with you, son. And he remembers leaning against this guy, and he said he remembered the guy felt like a boulder, like a rock. He was so solid and strong. And he showed me that picture. This man showed me the picture that his dad took, and it was him and Jackie Robinson.
Wow. How about that?
How cool was that? Yeah, it was really cool. Wow. So he's gone on and been the team photographer with the New York Mets. And since then, we've exchanged emails, and he sent me a lot of pictures of the Miracle Mets in '69, and Seaver and Kuzma and Nolan Ryan and all these guys back in those days and through the years. He was a cool guy. It's just you hear about different experiences of people going to their first major league games. And I thought, that guy, man, he's got one to top a lot of people's forever.
You're listening to Houston Sports Talk.